Hey guys, looks like we're live. We'll be getting started in a couple minutes. Should probably go open up our giveaway. Alright, giveaway should be live. There's the link. Just enjoy that relaxing music. Alright, looks like it is 1 o'clock. Guess that means it's time to get started. So welcome guys. This is Black 6 from BZPower here. And today we've got this beautiful set, the 76139 1989 Batmobile from the Tim Burton classic. So yeah, this movie, the movie is what, over 30 years old now, and this is quite the box we've got here. You can see just how deep it is, and also that beautiful Batman logo on the side. Definitely like just kind of the look of the box in general. I'm not sure how well it shows up on the stream, but like it's very matte, but then the Batmobile itself is kind of glossy. And it kind of makes it like shine in the light. You can see it's got a little over 3,300 pieces, but only retails for $250. So that kind of seems like a good value right off the bat. Of course, usually that means there's lots of little pieces, and I could see that where that might be possible with like lots of little details in the set. But I think if you're buying this set, it's probably not for the pieces. See on the side here, you can see this was celebrating 80 years of Batman last year. So kind of a coincidence that, you know, 1989 would have been 50 years of Batman and 2019 was 80 years. And on the back, you can see that the set comes with a little base that it can be displayed on. It has your normal kind of plaque that we would expect in like a UCS style set. Also includes some minifigures here. So you got Batman, the Joker, and Vicky Vale. Some cool little gargoyles. The set itself, almost 2 feet long. It's got an opening cockpit, full interior, machine guns that pop up, so lots of cool little details. I actually rewatched the movie last night to be prepared for the stream today. Probably been almost 30 years since I had last watched it, and let me tell you, did not quite hold up to what I was kind of expecting there. Now we've got our box in a box here. So lots of bags, some tires popping out. Make sure we got everything out of there. So I'm seeing like up to 23 as far as the number of bags. quite a lot to build here. Let's just kind of sort out 24. So what we've got here a little bit. So yeah, for whatever reason, all of the higher numbered bags seem to be outside the box in sequence. So 11 through 24 are outside, so presumably 1 through 10 are in here. Oh, that's cool. Even the interior box has some nice printing that kind of wraps around. I'm not sure how well that will show up here. And then we've got some loose parts. I only have two tires. I guess the rest are still in there somewhere. So let's try to organize this a bit more. As I mentioned when we announced the stream, if we don't finish today, which I'm assuming we're not going to, we will be continuing our build tomorrow. Although looking at how many bags we've got here, although so far it's only been 1 bag per number, but I don't know that we'll finish tomorrow. This is going to be a big test, I think. See how much we can do. All right. Oh, it looks like our instruction manual got nice, not quite folded but bent. Not too many stickers. I'll take a closer look at those when we open it up, but that's a good sign, I think. And most of the stickers look like they are interior in the cockpit area. That's interesting. We actually have 2 unnumbered bags. Usually I have like 1 of those per set. This time we have 2. Alright, so that's all the pieces right there. Geez, that's a lot. I guess it's been a while since we built a set this large. Hasn't it? Probably since like the city docks or something maybe. What was the last set that we built over multiple streams? I guess one of the Technic sets. But I feel like even those had fewer bags. They just took longer because they were very involved mechanically. Got some of these parts out of the way. Hey BFA, welcome. Alright, so here's our sticker sheet. You can see the main one is for the plaque here, Batmobile 1989, and then lots of little dashboard stickers. Those look like those are for like the machine guns on the outside. These might be for like headlights, or I guess it's one big white strip. Not sure where that's going to be for. And then I think those are like little caps. I think like the gas tanks or something maybe. All right. So I guess let's open up the instructions and start looking at this. So yeah, definitely very premium stuff. A lot of details about the film here. Inspiration for that version of the Batmobile. A little bit of info about the design process, working with DC Comics and Warner Brothers to make it happen. How to get some of those awesome curves and angles that the Batmobile has. One-of-a-kind elements. I believe this has a new windscreen piece. Although I'm assuming it's going to be quite a while before we get to that. Man, there's a lot of background info in here. And then we get it all in 2 other languages. Since this is the North America version of the set, we get it in Spanish and French. And finally, to the building. Alright, so you can see that, yeah, like the first half is kind of summarized on here. And we don't really even get that many exterior details in the first 12 bags, so it's not going to look very much like a Batmobile for a while. So I guess we better get started. Lots and lots of Technic frames. These are 4x6 Technic frame bricks. We have our new Batman cowl. So I believe this is exclusive for the set. It's got the cape molded in, and this is like a squishy rubber. It's got some little printing there for the Batman logo. And definitely looks like it's right out of the film. We have a nice teal brick separator. Look great in our cup O separators. Some of our green ones getting hidden there. There we go. All right. I've got plenty of trays. I feel like I've been kind of running low on those in some of our recent builds, especially where there were multiple bags for a given number. I've finally found some time with the whole COVID situation to do some organizing of my Lego room. A little bit of sorting, but even still, like, not so much sorting as just like organizing stuff that's just been like sitting places, and that's kind of made things a little easier to handle, and was able to reclaim some of these trays I use in the builds. So here is our Batman figure. So he's got this gun element. I guess it's his grappling hook. I don't think I have seen this element before. That doesn't mean it's new. I do like how it's got studs on 4 sides there, and they're hollow studs, so that gives you even more attachment points. And of course then it has a handle as well for the minifig to hold. And then he's got his batarang. Grappling hook gun is from the Overwatch sets. That would explain why I'm not familiar with it. I haven't picked up any of those sets other than the initial Blizzard Shop exclusive one. So there's Batman. It's interesting how his torso does not have the Bat logo. You can see he's got his white headband, serious face, kind of a smirk, a little bit of printing on the back there. And then of course the cowl goes on. And you gotta, I guess, watch the hands. And there is the Dark Knight. And definitely captures the look from the films. I really like how that cape looks. It's pretty sweet. Curious to see if that appears in other Batman Lego sets in the future. Looks like I have to open up both of these non-numbered bags to get some parts out. That will be needing here. But yeah, rewatching the movie last night, it was an experience, I guess. Some of those special effects really don't hold up. Like when he armors up the Batmobile, kind of like puts it in park mode, I guess. That looks pretty bad. And just some of the, I don't know, so I thought some of the choreography and stuff was pretty rough in places. Jack Nicholson as the Joker, fantastic. He did a really great job there. Again, it had been a long time since I'd seen it, so like I knew objectively that Michael Keaton was Batman in this movie. But going to watch it, I'm like, he doesn't strike me as like a good Bruce Wayne. Just like, I couldn't buy it. I couldn't buy that was Bruce Wayne for whatever reason. I thought I guess he kind of he was maybe a little too dweeby. Like I always picture Bruce Wayne as being like a lot more suave. Why can't I find the apparently single Technic pin axle? That should be in here. There it is. There's literally just one. Like, he just comes across as very dweeby and absent-minded, which didn't strike me as very Bruce Wayne-ish. And maybe that's just because I'm more used to, like, the Christian Bale version at this point. Or the Gotham TV show version, where he's a bit more of a spoiled brat kind of thing, especially in the beginning. Get some nice sand blue 7-module Technic beams. Those were some of the parts I've been sorting a lot of recently, so have a lot of my Technic beams sorted. Certainly not all of them. I know there's plenty more. Like, that's kind of the problem I found myself in, is that, you know, for a while I was just building sets and not taking anything apart. So I ended up with just a whole lot of sets that were built, just taking up space, and so then I started taking apart a bunch, just putting the pieces in a big tub. And then I now have like a tub full of just parts, and there's a whole mess of things that I could talk about with that. I know we talked at some point about like doing a sorting stream. I'm not even at that point yet. Like, I'm just trying to find workspace, table space that I could even do hardcore sorting on. So it's kind of an interesting build here. We use those Technic axles with studs to attach this. I guess it's probably gonna be like one of the first things we're doing that is going to be externally visible. So it's kind of neat that this early on we're doing that. There we go. So attaching the system to the Technic. But yeah, it's kind of been like, I took apart all those sets, but then I still have things I've gotten from like conventions and doing parts drafts. That like some things were somewhat sorted, or just like randomly thrown together and things like that were just kind of sitting on tables. And so I've been kind of going through a lot of that stuff and sorting that a little bit, and that's what like the Technic beams and stuff I was talking about. But then I still have that tub of all those sets I took apart that like I haven't even started touching. And so I'm starting to kind of come up with my sorting strategy and doing things on like this smaller scale before I really tackle the big stuff, to kind of figure out what's going to be the best way for me to do it. So slowly but surely we're getting there. And yeah, if that's something you guys think you'd be interested in me doing streams of when I get to that point, I guess let me know. I know some people said that might be cool. I'm not sure it would be, but hey, I'm not the one watching it, so if you guys want to watch me sort stuff, I can certainly do that. So here's what we got so far. Very solid with all these Technic frames. Looks like we're just kind of building things out, but then you do have like interesting things like that little half beam there and that little bumper or something here. So there's kind of interesting little details that are going in addition to all of the structural components. But yeah, that movie, it was definitely very 1989. And I don't mean like the Taylor Swift album. It was kind of a, I almost want to say like a period piece that you could definitely tell was very 80s. And there was like some good stuff, like some of the choreography, and like I said, Jack Nicholson's Joker, fantastic. Some of the Batman choreography though was pretty rough. It was just like, really? They can get away with that? Hey, Ballum. Welcome. So it's kind of interesting. We've got all these light gray Technic frames, and also we've got some Azure ones. I think that's like medium Azure. I always forget which is which, unless I have both of them next to each other. So I'm guessing that's probably going to be like to help know which direction we're looking at for orientation as we build it. Like, so if you have to switch it back and forth, it's easier to figure out which side. Right. So how's everyone been doing over, I guess, the past 2 weeks since we didn't stream last week? There's got a lot to catch up on. How's everyone doing? Guys run out of things to watch on Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon or Hulu or whatever yet? Or what have you been watching? Any recommendations? Always good to hear. I know BFA, you and I gotta talk about some Star Wars, especially since I haven't streamed since the last 2 episodes aired. So there's definitely been a lot. Those last 2 episodes were something. Lots of feels. It was definitely a good end to the series, I thought. I think Dave and the whole team did a fantastic job of tying it in to the films. I guess to the film, to Revenge of the Sith. And yeah, just like telling the story of the, like we already know Obi-Wan and Anakin and Yoda's story and Padme's story from Revenge of the Sith, but this is like, that's kind of the thing when Clone Wars first started airing. It's like, wait, if Anakin had this Padawan, then where was she in Revenge of the Sith? And we kind of got that in the Ahsoka book, but now we got to actually see it. And it was a little different from the book, but it was still fantastic. The whole Order 66 thing, got to see Rex and Ahsoka and her droid, some more awesome Darth Maul action. And then that very last scene. Basically at the end, it was just like, all right, when are they announcing the next Star Wars animated TV show? I mean, we still need to get the adventures of Ahsoka and Sabine. That still needs to be a thing for sure. And then let's see what else has been on. If you're a fan of The Mandalorian, they started the Disney Gallery series, where they're kind of going like behind the scenes of The Mandalorian. The first one was like kind of focused on all the directors, so that was really cool. Kind of see like the love that, you know, not just Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau had for Star Wars, but like all the directors that they had on there. It was like a fantastic job that they all did. Oh yeah, that was a moment. Yes, that was crazy when clones got Order 66. Whew. Had those nice callbacks too, with fives. Yeah, I think the biggest issue with this last season of Clone Wars is there wasn't more of it. Like, there's so little Padme in there. And relatively little Obi-Wan and Anakin. And yeah, for the time frame and everything that it was in, okay, sure, it makes sense, but I would have liked to see more of them. Alright, this thing is going to be big, wow. So we're almost done with the first bag here. You can see, I guess kind of start getting an idea of the overall length. Really gonna need to start getting rid of some of these bags if I have any hope of having space to actually build this. Thankfully, that problem will go away as time goes on. So let's see, in addition to all the Star Wars stuff, what else have I been watching? Guess there has not been a whole lot on. Like, I watched the MacGyver reboot, and that's still been airing, but I think I was just about done for this season. Or at least they're going to be taking a break, because they've run out of episodes that they could finish up. That's the problem with a lot of shows, is that, like, unless they're already close to being done with production, kind of just stop making them. because it can't bring people into studios to do ADR or do effects work and stuff like that. Alright, so I think we're just about done with bag one here. Let's see. So near the end we put a lot of Technic beams on the outside here, which definitely helped with the overall strength of the base. And yeah, definitely looks like a Batmobile, right? See a few more system pieces mixed in with our Technic in bag two. So BFA, now that the season's done, any favorite moments from the final season of the Clone Wars? Did it stack up to everything you wanted it to be? Yeah, the Siege of Mandalore definitely went by very quickly. I think I definitely hold with my criticism from while the season was still airing. That middle arc just kind of went on for too long. I'd rather had that be a little shorter and then gotten more Siege of Mandalore. Or just more episodes in general. I mean, obviously that would have been pretty sweet too. So it looks like something is going to be going on here. We've got these jumper plates. We've got some 1x2 cheese slopes. We had this Technic half beam we put in before. Got that little bit of asymmetry right here. And so, I don't know, so you can't tell from the front of the instructions because the front of the instructions doesn't actually show you the set. So, assuming it's going to be part of some sort of mechanism eventually, but we'll have to wait and see what that becomes. It looks like some of it looks like what we're doing now is kind of like the nose angled piece. Alright, so you can see we're doing some interesting kind of angled builds here. Some wedge plates and stuff. A hinge here. I assume it's going to be sticking straight out eventually. That's probably going to be how we're going to attach it, and that's going to explain the asymmetry there. I do feel like at the end of the day there's definitely still more Clone Wars stories for them to tell. It's a time period where I think there's kind of like no end of stories they could tell. I'm a little bummed that we are getting a Clone Wars anthology book later this year, but that most of the stories in it are going to be like adaptations of episodes rather than kind of new stories. It would have been really cool to get some new stuff there. Alright, so here is the start of, I guess, like the nose assembly. Front grille, as it would be in a car. Oh wow, looking at it on the streams. Black on black on black, but there is some cool techniques using the triangle tiles here, and those 1x2 angled curve slopes fit in very well with each other. And so then that's going to pop in here. And so you can see we're kind of starting to get that like pointy nose on the Batmobile. And so now it looks like that Technic half beam, putting a Technic brick in front of it, so that's going to be what we attach some other assembly that's going to go into the front here. That kind of like jet turbine looking thing that sticks out of the front of the Batmobile. will say that about the 1989 Batman movie in rewatching it, is that it definitely, like, the art design was amazing. Yeah, you definitely felt like you were in, like, Gotham City. Not sure what this is going to be for. So yeah, just build this little assembly here. And this goes on these jumper plates, so it lines up with that half beam. And I push this axle in. So maybe I was a little off by that being the attachment point for like the nose cone. But this is certainly locked into place now. Interesting. I'll have to wait and see. And so I assume all these lovely sand blue Technic beams we're putting in are going to be used to kind of attach later parts of the structure. Although right now they're kind of very wobbly, so I'm looking forward to seeing how exactly that gets accomplished. Now it looks like we're doing something with the front wheels, possibly a little steering mechanism. It looks like that may be able to be controlled from somewhere else on the Batmobile. I don't know if the steering wheel itself is going to work or if there's going to be a little knob somewhere hiding that you can use to turn the wheels, but either way that'd be pretty sweet. Even if at the very least if the wheels turn and are linked, so when you turn one the other turns, that would be a big achievement in and of itself, I think, considering most like creator expert cars like the Mustang and the Mini and all those, like the wheels don't even turn, let alone like have a steering wheel that works. I'm trying to think now, in the past couple weeks, if we've had any new set announcements. I feel like it's been a little bit of a dry spell on that front. Although I do know something's coming this coming week, so that's something to look forward to. I can hint and tease that. You can stay tuned to BZPower. We'll have the news coming up this week, along with most other LEGO fan sites, I'm sure. Didn't have the May the 4th promos with the new A-Wing being made available. So if you really wanted that UCS A-Wing, you can go get that now. We'll hopefully be getting ours soon so we can build that on stream at some point. Alright, definitely a very interesting construction going on right now. It's all very wobbly. I assume we're going to be locking that in a little bit. You can see, I guess these are the going to be the connectors for the wheels. So we're getting close to finishing up bag 2 here, which is good because I want this steering mechanism to be done so we can show it off, because it looks like it's going to be really cool. Alright, so we're on the last step here. We can show off our steering. See if I did this right. feel like something seems off here. Those aren't connected. No, okay, I think that's good. So I'm sure once we attach it, it'll be better, but you can see they're kind of like linked here. So yeah, let's attach this. So looks a little precarious. Getting all these guys on these little jumper plates we put in before. There we go. Alright, that's it for bag 2. As you can see here. And actually the way the steering mechanism works, if you like pay attention closely, it's not just the wheels are turning, but actually going back and forth a little bit because of the way this mechanism is designed. So I guess that I assume that gives it like an even tighter turn radius than it would normally have. So it's a really cool technique and presumably accurate to the movie Batmobile. I'm looking forward to seeing what this connects to, if it actually does connect to the steering wheel or not. Alright, on to bag 3. Kind of mentally hoping to get through the first 12 bags today. So then tomorrow we only have 12 bags. That seems like a good halfway point. So we're 1/6 of the way there today. Alright, looks like we're starting to do some of the actual front bumper details here. I'm going to try to do both at once. Yeah, so based on that, we'll probably be doing our first giveaway after this bag. And so yeah, that kind of brings up a little new subject here. I think we've talked about it a little bit on our past couple of streams, but we recently met the requirements to join the Twitch affiliate program, which means in theory we can get some money from these streams when ads are shown. Highly doubt it's going to be a lot of money. And just like, in case anyone's like, oh no, we're going commercial, like any money we make is just going to be, you know, going back into these streams to pay for sending out prizes, pay for BZPower hosting. Like right now, the majority of that stuff is you know, coming out of BZPower Premier memberships or out of my own pocket, so that's anything we can do to, you know, help offset those costs just means that it'll help keep BZPower and these streams going for longer. And it's purely just going to be for fun. But I'm gonna like be experimenting a little bit. Like when we do our first giveaway, I think we're gonna probably like run an ad beforehand. And based on what I've been reading, thanks to some prodding from BFA Home, is that you know, that'll mean that when people come and tune into the stream after we run an ad, they won't have to watch like the pre-roll ads. So if we can time when those ads are going on, then that means like less disruptions to the stream, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know and I can try to explain a little better. But I hope it makes sense, and I hope it's a good thing. But maybe you guys watching don't feel that way, and so well, we can reevaluate. I'm definitely not tied to any of that. But yeah, as part of that, with the affiliate program, we can You have the option now to start doing like custom emotes and stuff in the stream, and different like badges and stuff for subscribers. And I do hope to start doing that. Probably going to be doing a little contest to get some ideas from people and decide what our like custom emote's going to be. And as with many things we do with this first contest on BZPower, there will be prizes, probably some Lego sets, and I figure it would make sense, since it's a thing for a Twitch channel, if we gave out a subscription as well, in addition to some tangible Lego prizes. So if you got some artistic skills, start thinking about like what you think would be good emotes on the BZPower Twitch channel, and can enter and maybe win and get free subscription and some Lego. Yes, smash that subscribe button, definitely. Yeah, see, I know that that is kind of like the culture on Twitch and those stuff, but I'm just kind of like meh on that. Like I said, I want people to be having fun here. I'm not in this to be making money, so I'm not going to be like trying to push subscriptions and stuff. If it's what people want to do to help support, then that's cool. But don't expect to hear me like talking about it all the time. We will be talking about it a little bit just to make people aware, so when they see like the ads run and stuff like that, they kind of know why and what's going on. And yes, there is a way to gift a subscription, I believe. I believe I saw a link for that earlier today, so we will be able to do that. So these things are definitely the most system-heavy part of our build so far. Had a lot of Technic stuff before I get into some of the system areas. So this is kind of a cool little technique here. I'm not sure how well it's gonna show with the black on black. You can see we have kind of this 1x2 end slope, corner slope, and then we have this guy, this like inverted-ish slope, and that pops on there pretty nicely. Kind of gives you this cool edge on the inside, and then it mittens well with this 2x4 kind of curve slope. Oh yeah, no, we would definitely be footing the bill on that sub. VFA home. It would be a cost to us, but we can just give it to whoever wins our contest. And that's the idea. Whole thing pops on like so. Alright, so the front of our Batmobile is starting to look kind of Batmobile-ish. Yes, we already did all that. moment when you almost skip a step. Thankfully, catch yourself before it's too late. I thought it was the same song. Here, we'll skip that. Yeah, it's weird that they just played that. It was just kind of like shuffle there. Played twice in a row. Like, part of me just kind of tunes out the music at this point a little bit. For each of the tracks so many times. That's the other thing we gotta do when we do this contest for emoticons and stuff. We should finally do a contest that I've talked about a couple times for new songs. Mix up the playlist a bit. Alright, so it looks like this is going to be part of our steering wheel mechanism. So you can see now, we've got this yellow Technic connector, and then when this turns from side to side, it makes the wheels turn from side to side as well. So presumably that's going to go up somehow to the steering wheel. Not sure what exactly these are going to be, but we've got eventually have some upside down snot brackets there. Looks like they're just putting these tiles on them. Oh, gotta put some other pieces on there too. I guess once we install them, it'll make a little more sense what they're for. wow, I just realized I'm almost done with bag 3. That was quick. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put up our giveaway link. I'm gonna start to enter that. Make sure I'm putting this on here right. Let's go up here. Kind of covering some of our steering mechanism. So yeah, this kind of covered it, but it's also giving us like these inverted stud attachment points. Kind of odd, and one of these is not in the right position. It's supposed to be one stud over. There we go. And it gives us this little curved outside here. Not sure why that is important or not, but it is what it is. Finally attaching some of these, or dropping our pins, attaching some of these sand blue Technic beams. Alright, and that's it for bag 3. So we're going to try this running an ad thing, see how that goes. And then after that we're going to, well, while the ad runs, we're going to open up bag 4 and then we'll do a giveaway afterwards. So let's see what that does. Alright, that wasn't bad, was it? So opened up bag 4, put that overlay back on, and pick our first winner. Alright, Power FGC, congrats. You won a Jin Urso buildable figure. Let me get in touch with you, make that happen. Give me 1 second, we will start bag 4. Alright, bag 4. So this looks like we're going to be starting on the wheel wells. thinking by the time I'm done with this build, I'm never gonna want to build with black pieces again. Because this bag, I'm sure a lot of the ones beyond this are very much black on black on black. It makes it very difficult to find some of the parts when you need them. So they all just kind of blend together. Very, very dark gray is perfectly fine. Will or Net Batman. I feel like that just doesn't, does not eat up the light nearly as much as the black does. Well, I'm sure if this is all dark gray, it would be just as hard to find the colors I need. Something makes me think that like black is even worse. Yeah, I'm going to be very appreciative of any time the designers manage to put some non-black colors in here. Yeah, and speaking of Lego Batman, I'd say rewatching that 1989 film also reminded me how much I love the Lego Batman movie as a Batman movie. And since I started, watching the Tim Burton one, kind of want to keep going and watch the others, especially since it's been so long since I've seen them. But also kind of afraid to, because I know some of them get really bad. Go Batman and Robin, Batman Forever. At least you have, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight to look forward to after those two. They're starting to do some cool work on the front here. Have these little curved slopes. Give it some kind of pointy edges. You can sort of seeing that iconic grill, I guess, coming together there on the front. It's hard to call it a grill, even though, like, technically, I guess from a car perspective, it would be the grill, because it looks more like the nose cone of a jet fighter. Which I believe was the idea. Like the fact that this stuff includes both tan 1x2s and black 1x2s. Very thankful of that. So they could have just made them all black, but they didn't. Now I can see what I'm doing. some pretty cool snot work we're doing here. So we can show it off. So you can see we added these little snot bricks here. And I built this little guy. It's got some snot brackets on it. And then we can drop it. We pick it up and put it back on. You can see we have this plate now facing outwards, that angle. And then it kind of blends in with this 2x4 slope here to get like a really cool, sharp angled curve there. Alright, we almost got some wheel arches here. Almost on bag 4 for that matter. I think the wheel arches are kind of just about done here. I love that shaping we got, adding these 1x2 little cheese grater slopes, so like it curves and then it kind of starts going back in. And you can see the wheel is going to turn there. And if you look at it from like different angles, you can see some like the light gray and the yellow and stuff, but I assume once, you know, we put those tires in there, yeah, the tire's gonna like take up pretty much the entire space and you're not gonna be able to see any of those other colors. Still got quite the colorful insides as we continue the build. Front's looking pretty good. Starting to look like a Batmobile. adding these little hinge plates on here. And so I'm curious to see what those end up connecting to. But I'm guessing there's gonna be like the panels on the inside that kind of slope in. So assuming those will be part of that. All right, on to bag 5. So I'm gonna need little parts from here. Have a 16 module long Technic axle. That's not one you see every day. Looks like we actually have 3 of them in the set. I know in that limited amount of sorting that I've been doing so far, I have not come across any 16 module Technic axles. I have a few 32 module ones. Those are kind of ridiculous because it's hard to fit them in a drawer or something because they're so long, but I've got them. I believe they came from a city space set. There's like a rocket launch tower, and this there uses interior structure in the rockets. I feel like bag 5 here is going to be pretty quick. Just judging by the number of parts, but it's only if I can find the parts that I need. Oh, apparently I did not need any extra ones. I needed one of those tiles, not 2. So yeah, based on the little picture we got in our instructions, we will be installing the steering wheel in this bag. So that'd be cool, be able to show off the steering, actually using the steering wheel. That means we'll start getting some of the cockpit details in, or driver's seat. I'm not sure what you call it in a Batmobile. Which means we may get to some stickers. So happy for these non-black colors here in the middle, brown and lime green and tan. Can see what I'm doing. Looks like we may be building the gas pedal right now, which is a cool detail, especially since they do make a whole point in the movie of actually showing that there is a gas pedal that he steps on. So you're using a little battle droid arm, the 1x2 tile. I'm assuming that is the gas pedal. Kind of have to wait and see, I guess. it's time to build the steering wheel. So it looks like we're going to be using these two connectors here to angle the steering wheel, kind of like a universal joint. But not the normal Technic universal joint piece. Alright, so there is our steering wheel. I didn't even realize that this tile was printed. So you can see it's got the little Batman logo on it, printed in silver. Oh, there we go. You can see it there. That means I have to kind of try to line that up a little better, I feel like. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just put that gray tile on there. And that slides on there. Let's go there. And so now when we turn our steering wheel, the wheels turn. Nice. Oh, so apparently that was the brake pedal we built. Now we're building the gas pedal. I guess that makes sense since this is going to be a little narrower. So there is the gas pedal. Alright, now it looks like we're going to be building some sort of Technic mechanism. So we're going to be using one of these gearboxes here. And so I'm not sure what it'll be for, so I'll have to build and find out. Although, I don't know, we may actually not find out in this bag. So yeah, so far we've got when we turn this, turns that tan gear, this turns the little black gear up there, and there's a bevel gear in there that turns. So in theory, we'll have two things on those sides that will turn as well. Looks like we may not get to that just yet. Maybe that's going to be for the machine guns that are supposed to pop up. This whole assembly slots right in the middle there. We're going to have our first sticker in a second. We just built this. You can see we're using these 1x4 panel pieces. I believe what's going to go on here is that we're going to be able to slide this axle through there and eventually cover this up so you kind of have it hidden in the middle. Alright, our first sticker. Tell which way is up. Let's look that way. Alright, so there we go. Lots of switches and little lights and stuff. Because this was the 80s, and yeah, the technology wasn't quite as up there yet. Didn't really have a lot of computerized cars. And that goes there. Make sure we get that seated really good. Alright, yep, and like I thought, this is going to go all the way through there. Got it into that, so now when we turn this, it's going to turn this gear up here. To what end? Don't know just yet. Maybe little pop-up machine guns, maybe something else. That is it for bag 5. So on to bag 6. Looks like it's gonna be another quick one. And it looks like, though, the main goal of that is going to be to work on those little pop-up machine guns. And another one of our 16 long Technic axles. And yeah, lots of little parts and Technic bits here. And yeah, so I guess keeping to our plan to get through 12 of these bags today. After bag 6 here, we'll be doing our second giveaway, which means we'll be running an ad again, see how that goes. Probably will update the giveaway form for tomorrow to kind of get some feedback on those from you guys. Since no one seems to be speaking up about it in the chat. Alright, so got some little snot brackets there. These are going sides here. Oh no, not a broken window. Hopefully you got that fixed, BFA. So the question was, well, I was saying that after we're done with this bag, we'll be doing our next giveaway. And so the question was regarding doing the ad breaks before we do the giveaways, what people thought of that. And that I'll probably be adding that to our giveaway form to get some feedback from people on how they feel about us running like the ads here and there. So not a lot to see on our little machine gun nest, I guess, or they're going to pop out of just yet. A little bit of snot action down here that is not immediately clear what it's for, but I guess we'll have to see. Alright, so just built a pair of these guys. And now they're going to get flipped like this. And attach on here. So that's kind of interesting, is that these studs here are not, it doesn't look like they're actually going to attach to anything. They're just literally being used as spacers against, oh, the stuff I'm breaking. Where did you pop off from? So we'll show it off a little bit more on this side here. So they're just kind of going in like this. And so yeah, that's not going anywhere, but those studs aren't really being used for anything. It's kind of interesting. Now it's time for our machine guns. That was definitely another thing I noticed rewatching the 1989 Batman film last night. For a superhero who, in most instances, is very much against guns, he certainly uses a whole lot of them in that movie. Like the Batmobile and I guess the Batplane. They've just got all sorts of guns on them. I don't think he ever shoots anyone with them. But he's certainly got them. Sticker time for machine guns. These are just going on some 2x4 tiles, so pretty straightforward. So you can see it's got like a little bullet chain coming out of there. Here's the other one. I don't think anyone ever said that Batman wasn't a violent superhero, but he sure uses a lot of guns. Here we've got some nice gunmetal Technic pin connectors. I don't know if I've seen them in this color before, or at least not in a while. Maybe back in like the Hero Factory days. Alright, and now our completed machine gun is going to pop into the little thing we built before. Although there's no gears yet to actuate it. We need to pop in there too. So helps if I push that piece on all the way. So apparently very finicky. There we go. So you can see those are going to pop up. Alright, now helps if I put that gear in there. Come on. Gear went down a little too far. There we go. Well, that's gonna wrap up this bag. So we put up that giveaway link again. take a little bit of fiddling on these gears. I'll make sure they're synced, because that would suck if the machine guns didn't quite pop up the same. Alright, so there we go. There's our machine guns. And it's not exactly easy to turn this, but you can see that they go up and they can go back down. Pretty fun little mechanism there. Eventually I'm sure like they'll be turning something on the back that will activate those. Alright. Hope you guys have all had a chance to enter so far. So we're gonna run a little ad again, and then we'll do our next giveaway. Alright, looks like we're back. And so now it's time to pick our next winner. Lord Oblivion, congrats! You won an Elite TIE Fighter pilot. We'll be in touch with you to get your prize. And yeah, so now on to bag 7, which looks like it's just gonna be some like starting to do some of the details on the sides here. So I can see like, there's lots of snot brackets and different plates and bars and clips and stuff. So just gonna be like a lot of little details. And I'm also noticing that, and I think this is going to be a little too big for Batman, the minifigure here. His feet can't really reach the pedals. So let's see, what else has been going on during the quarantine? Oh, if you're into Jim Henson and Muppets and have Apple TV, which I know, I guess if you're an iPhone or iPad user and you recently got one, right, I think you could get like a free year of that to start with, so a lot of people should have that. They started Fraggle Rock Rock On, which is like a series of little shorts. I think the first 3 are out so far. Only watched the first 2, but definitely really cool to see Fraggle Rock back in action. I feel like it's been far too long since they kind of had any sort of series. I really loved watching that as a kid, so it's really great to see that coming back, and hopefully it does well on Apple TV and they decide to like do some sort of series on other platforms. that's like more widely available. Like, I mean, pretty sure what Disney owns. Well, Disney owns the Muppets. I'm not sure if that includes Fraggle Rock or not. But I'd love to see some more Fraggle action. So this is kind of cool. We've got the gold ingot piece in titanium metallic. I don't know if I've seen it in that color before. Just noticed my quality went downhill there for a second, I'm not sure why. Looks like we're back in business though. Also taking some silver roller skate pieces. Assume we've seen them in this color before, but we're making stacks of 6 of them for some reason. I guess it's like a little detail on the side of the Batmobile. Yeah, I think that makes a kind of cool little part span thing where you put a bunch of pieces together just to kind of get that repeating pattern. And those are going on the sides here. So some more snot brackets, and we've got these cool little kind of inverted snot pieces. Not sure how long they've been around for, but I know I bought a bunch on Lug Bulk, I think last year. And yeah, they're definitely still sitting somewhere, waiting to be put to use, waiting to be sorted. Probably still in like the little bag that they ended up being in after I got them, and still have yet to go anywhere. So even if I wanted to use them today, I probably wouldn't know where to find them, at least not easily. So we've got some of these little, usually minifigure accessories in titanium metallic. They've got a little bar on the bottom that a minifig can hold on to. They also make interesting little details. Not quite sure. Looks like, yeah, I'm not sure what they're supposed to be right now. We'll show off what they become in a second here once we finish building these little assemblies. Yeah, so just attaching them to a little battle droid arm there. And then they are going on the sides here. They're just kind of hanging out the sides. I guess there's like little greeble details. I can do this one backwards. There we go. You can sort of go through a lot of effort here to put in all sorts of little details on the sides here. We've got like all these snot brackets here that are going to help cover up the mechanism for the machine guns at some point. And yeah, no, these guys still kind of move. I'm not sure what they're going to end up being for. All this time, we're still trying to keep these sand blue Technic beams somewhat available. These guys are, I guess these are locked in holding the machine guns, but like these, ones are still kind of wobbly. And presumably we're going to be attaching something to them at some point. Just curious as to what that's going to be and when. So now it looks like we're making two specific little details that I think are going to go like right in here. And they're going to be both identical, so we get to build them both at the same time. The instructions even tell us to build them both at the same time for a change. But that's going to be it from bag 7. We're just really flying through this. We may get past bag 12 today. Well, this is kind of neat. So we've got, oh, if I don't drop it, we've got this piece, which you guys might remember from our Land Rover and some of the other Technic builds we've done, which is normally used in like the transmissions. It kind of moves from side to side. There's a little piece that goes in that little gap to kind of tilt it along an axle. But here, we're putting it in there. You can see it kind of fits on those wedge plates. And we put on a couple other wedge plates, maybe. There we go. To lock it in. That makes for like it wobbles a little bit, but maybe if we put a piece in here, that'll keep it from doing that. But that's a really cool technique there. Yeah, once we put that additional 1x2 plate in there, it still kind of moves a little bit, but it's pretty sturdy. And then we're going to cover it with these macaroni tiles. I have a feeling it's going to further lock it in place. So it can still spin, But yeah, it's not really going to be wiggling much anywhere. Alright, so there's the finished piece here. Some slopes down there. And those are attaching onto here. So thankfully we've got these tan arches. And I'm wondering if we're actually going to be using that hole in there eventually to connect to those Technic beams. It looks like it lines up with the Technic beam. Oh, and no sooner did I say that, the next step, it looks like that's what we're going to be doing. It's going to finish up bag 8. See, I think this is supposed to be like another one of the little gadgets on the Batmobile. So you've got this little grappling hook. I think it's supposed to be little kind of like caltrops that he's got. So that sticks in there. Maybe. No, that doesn't quite make it. Oh no, I lost that. Doesn't quite make it to that Technic beam. Seems kind of odd. Yeah, I can put that in there and then the beam is still loose. It's like, did I do something wrong there? No, looks like it's right though. I'm just not sure why we put that Technic pin that we did in there if it's not going to connect to anything. I'm trying to look in the instructions to see if like, oh yeah, it's supposed to attach, but it doesn't look like it. And then once it's in there, if you try to take it out, just the grappling hook comes out, or so it doesn't. Trying to see if like I've assembled it wrong, like if it's supposed to be like another stud further back somewhere. See, the only thing I can think of is if at some point we're going to put like a lightsaber bar in there to go into that Technic pin, but it doesn't look like it. Alright, so on to bag 8 then. Yeah, I think the first couple bags we did were quite involved. And there's like a lot, especially that first bag that had like a lot of the structure, but now they're getting kind of less and less complicated. Right, like there's only one inner bag to each of these bags instead of the 2 that the first few had. getting back to some Technic frame building, although these are much smaller frames this time around. It's kind of like, hey, you thought you're done doing Technic stuff? Oh, okay, so this is going in here. Kind of gives some added structure. So yeah, now hopefully, oh wow, yeah, that just made a whole lot more solid there. There's like no sagging or anything. I can just hold it with one hand. Sure, I won't be able to hold it with one hand by the end because it's going to get a lot heavier. Kind of surprised here by how we're starting to do all these details and how much gray and like gunmetal there is instead of black on the sides here. Keep popping that off. You can see we just added like that little detail in there. We still got that little Technic axle exposed that we're going to attach something to. The stone is definitely gray. I'm sure we'll regret saying that at some point. Oh, look at all the gray we have. Well, now it's time for all black. I do have some nice titanium metallic Technic elbow pieces. I guess they're possibly supposed to be like the exhaust pipe or something. Some sort of tubing here on the sides. Actually, going on that Technic axle I was just pointing at before. So that pops onto there, and there. Uh-oh, just broke something up there. And put another one of these. A little Technic pinhole. Looking pretty awesome. What did I break up here? And a nose cone. And yeah, so talking about that, trying to use a lightsaber bar to lock these in, like I was talking about before. Here we're using one to go in here. That can go inside the Technic pin. That's inside there. Little Exoforce hand on the end. Get that all the way in. It's hard to find a good spot to pick it up to grab this. So that goes in here. The other end is actually going to a little Technic bushing piece there. So kind of the tube is going through there. Hide those little notches in the Technic pin connector there. I feel like we're already almost done with bag 8. Alright. That is it for bag 8. These guys still not locked in, but we did lock these ones in. And from the back, not looking all that impressive. But when we start looking at it from the sides here, got some cool detailing going on. Front as well. And all those a little hard to activate. Pop-up machine guns. And also very sturdy, at least from the front. This is all like locked in and solid at this point, except for maybe some little details. And we still have our little working steering. Alright, on to bag 9. Looks like we got our second minifigure. Vicky Vale coming in. And since we're making good time, we'll be doing another giveaway after this bag. This is kind of a cool little technique. So we've got our normal camera piece, and we're taking one of those 1x1 round plates with the bar and a trans 1x1 plate, putting it on like that. Kind of give it that like telephoto lens look. Usually they just put like plates on the other way, but I kind of like that, where it gives it the anti-stud facing out. It's a nice little different technique. Alright, and our second minifig, Vicky Vale, lovely sand green dress. Very 80s. Got a kind of serious face going on there. A little bit of printing on the back and an angry face. She's got some long blonde hair. I don't believe that's a new color for that mold. I think we've seen that before. And she can grab her camera and try to take some pictures of Batman. Alright, so it looks like in bag 9 here, we're going to be kind of covering up the sides of the machine guns, building some stuff that goes at an angle. We do still have these hinge plates from like 4 bags ago. And that looks like that's going to be the main part of bag 9 here. We got lots of these 1x3 jumper plates. Looks like quite a few snot brackets as well. start getting rid of some more of these bags. Run out of space for my Batmobile. Yeah, I thought that problem was going to solve itself, but apparently not quite. So you can see on this part that we're building now, we've got these two hinge plates, which is a kind of common technique we see in Lego sets, because at certain angles they line up on the system, like from that perspective. So as long as you've got tiles or something underneath, you can make that work. I know they've used it on some of the X-Wings from Star Wars that we've built and sets like that before. Lots of snot pieces here on the sides. Yeah, it's interesting. We had all those snot pieces, and now we're putting jumpers on top. Curious to see if that is just going to be decorative, or if we're actually going to be attaching something onto them. So now this whole wall of jumpers goes on here. Gotta make sure you attach it onto the other hinge plate from before, which is kind of easier said than done. There we go. So you can see that there. We'll do this on the other side. That's starting to kind of give it that tapered shape from the big front, kind of tapers down the middle, and then it's going to get wide out in the back. Alright, yeah, we already did that. Alright, we're already just about done with bag number 9. So I'm going to go ahead and put up our giveaway link. Make sure you go ahead and enter there if you have not yet already. If you have already, you do not need to enter again. You are all set. Doing like little bits of interior stuff at the same time as we're working on these outside details. I'm kind of wondering what like it's all building up to. All right, that's it for bag 9. Can see we kind of built up the sides here, built out there, kind of made this little edge here that kind of blends in. Well, I assume we are going to be putting something on top of this to kind of cover it up a bit. Looking more and more Batmobile-ish. You do have these little inset bars here that I'm kind of curious about. Can't really probably even see them on the camera, but they're in there. I'm just wondering if we're going to clip anything on them or if they're just like a little detail. Anyway, gonna run a quick ad, and then I'm going to open up bag 10 while I do that, and then we'll pick our next winner. Alright, looks like we're back. Find out who winner number 3 is going to be. BFA Home, congrats! You've won a Death Trooper buildable figure. We'll get in touch with you, get you that prize. You know the drill. Alright, so on to bag 10. Looks like we're going to be building up like the back section, or not, I guess the middle section here on the other side of the, where the seats are. I think we've got a few sets to send you there, BFA Home, from some past streams. I'm not sure if the emails got caught in your spam filter or what, but I know you're good. I know where to find you, so I figured I would get you them eventually, unless you're in a rush. using some panel pieces to help fill in that space in a fairly quick manner there. I guess normally, you know, like, I know it would be like sending you something else, whether it's convention circuit stuff or whatever, but not a lot has been happening outside of these streams, so I should probably just send you some stuff at some point. So yeah, just shoot me a reply, make sure your address hasn't changed, and we'll see if I can make it to the post office this coming week. I've been trying to stay as on top of these prizes as I can, but you know, with that whole COVID thing, it does make getting to the post office a little trickier. Like, is the post office considered essential for mailing out people's prizes? So try to find other reasons to go out. And that's just a happy bonus. These Technic beams still aren't locked into anything. Alright, so you have a whole bunch of snot brackets here they've been building up. Kind of curious to see what we use these Technic pins for. This thing is starting to get quite massive. Okay then. So we're now going to be using 12 of these kind of tail fin pieces to give it some shaping here. I think they're gonna kind of make it look like air intakes on the side or something. So it looks pretty cool when they're all kind of lined up like that. Let's go on the side here. Interestingly, we just put a wedge plate in there, so now it kind of like leaves a little gap. Now it looks like we're going to find out what these Technic pins are for. If these fins weren't enough, we're going to make something that really looks like an air intake now by the looks of it. It's going to be like a F-15. It's a Formula One car or something. I think that's how they described the Batmobile, some iteration of the Batmobile. Fighter jet meets a race car. Curious what people in the chat's favorite iterations of the Batmobile are. For me, it'd probably have to go. I'm not sure how. I don't remember how different this one is from the one from Batman Returns. I feel like Batman Returns was where I definitely saw the 1989 Batman as a kid, but Batman Returns I was a little older, so I was more into the toys and stuff at that point. I really remember that Batman Returns Batmobile. And of course, kind of around the same time, the Batman, the animated series Batmobile. Both of those definitely stand out in my mind. Alright, I can do some cool angle stuff. Some more hinge plates coming in here. We built this little contraption. You can see the Technic pin hole there, and that is going to pop on there, and because of this wedge plate, it kind of locks it in place. So now we're taking these kind of panel pieces, got little bars on the bottom, and clip them in there, and they attach up here. You can see that's giving us like our jet intake shape. Looks pretty sweet. I think it comes out quite nice. There's a little bit of a gap here, but I'm sure that's going to be covered up when we like attach it. Alright, so one jet intake. Attach that via some Technic pins here. That is a very tight fit. So we got like this wall panel here that this thing literally has to like kind of sneak inside of. There we go. So you can see here, it like literally slides right into this wall panel. And then it goes flush right up against these fins. It's probably one of my favorite parts on this build so far after the steering. I just love all these cool little angles and stuff we're doing there. It's really starting to look like that Batmobile now. Alright, we're already almost done with bag 10. Just 2 more to go for today. I have 2 extra Technic pins. That doesn't seem likely. I definitely put the Technic pins on there, otherwise those would not have stayed in place. Oh, okay, I guess there's extra. Usually you don't even get, like, barely get 1 extra, let alone 2. Alright, so looking at our little instruction manual thing, we're going to be working on the back section here, kind of building up like this section and doing some work along the sides there as well. So just kind of, I guess we're just kind of got to this level and we're kind of working our way back at that level. And these things still are not locked in. Looks like in this bag we'll finally lock those in. Large plates and some Technic bricks and stuff in here. It's a little tricky to find the parts I'm looking for. Interesting, we're got a few different arch pieces in this step. It looks like we're pretty much just using them as some interior kind of structural support, I guess, rather than really like loading things up with bricks and stuff that take up more space and add more weight. I'm just using some arches. Give it strength, but keep it a little lighter. big gray plates here. I do like how we have these little yellow round plates that we put on first to help kind of guide us to make sure it didn't mess up where they go. Alright, so we're really lock in a lot of the side construction there, make it nice and solid and sleek and smooth. No studs showing. Can see we had like an ugly tan, and now the tan goes away. And it kind of locks all that stuff together that we're just adding on. Starting to get a really cool, sleek look here. Alright, don't know how happy it makes me that we're finally locking in these Technic beams. Though it was a very odd way to do it, I must say. Hey, as long as it works. I'm trying to get more space, but these bags are in the way. Alright, so just made these little panels, nice curve slopes here. Those are going. They line up like so. That kind of starts filling in the sides here. Presumably we're going to do something to cover that, so there'll only be like a little bit of gray and gunmetal showing here. Alright, just about done with bag 11. After that, there'll only be one more to go for today. Clearly not one more to finish this ginormous set. Alright, that's it for 11. We're definitely starting to look like a Batmobile here. I put a bunch of Technic here and here, which really kind of makes the middle solid now, so it's just kind of like this part here hanging out. That's a little weak, but I can hold it like one-handed now. It is pretty solid. Still got our working steering. I do like how, at least for now, you can still see how the mechanism works. A lot of that is still visible. And yeah, alright. We do still have our machine guns that pop up. Although it's getting harder to activate that. Looks like we're going to be working on the interior. There is an interior for this, other than the steering wheel. Not quite minifig scale, as you can see by trying to put Batman and Vicky in here. They kind of get lost in that. They're more just kind of for display. It's interesting. We got one of our stickers is going on one of these kind of inverted curves. Number 5. That was a little bit of a pain, putting the sticker on the inside of a curved slope there. And these are going, controls are going on the driver's side. Batman doesn't trust Vicky or any of his passengers to control the windows or anything, I guess. And then we get to start on the seats. Okay, sneak, alright. There we go. Alright, we're gonna cheat a little bit here and move some of these bags. So I can move this out a little bit. Have some room to work. Alright, there's the start of our seat. You can see, definitely not quite minifig scale there. I have to actually make sure I put them in the right spot here. Alright, now I get to do the center console. It's going to cover up our machine gun mechanism, unfortunately. But it does have, I guess, the gear shift and some other attachments or other levers for Batman's toys. We have another sticker to do. Alright, you can see that sticker there on the 2x2 curb slope. Looks like just some different dials or levers or something there, sliders for all of his different controls. So got a lot of stickers going in here. Gotta make sure you orient these the right way. I think by the end of this bag here, We only have like the display base sticker left. And there's that one. More controls, I guess. Very complicated piece of machinery, the Batmobile. Wonder where he takes it to, you know, get it serviced. That was definitely one thing they never quite address in the 1989 film. I don't know if they do it later in any of the others, but like I specifically remember in like Batman Begins they do with Lucius Fox. Where like where you know they even have the line, where does he get all those fabulous toys? You know, they never quite explain, other than the fact that he's rich. That doesn't mean like, well, just because you're rich doesn't mean you can get all these cool like military grade devices and stuff. Like in theory they have to come from somewhere. I'm really hoping, I'm going to show this off, hoping that we're going to cover it. Right now we still have like this kind of these big gaps on the side here. Like we made this nice smooth curve area, we still have these gaps that I hope get covered up in the final build. I do see we have some snot connections like up front here, and in theory we're going to like cover up some of this stuff in the front, but closer to the back I think we need some work. Got some Technic axles that we're putting in here that literally seem to be doing nothing at the moment. They just go in there, don't connect to anything. I don't know if they're just supposed to add some strength in here so it doesn't flex as much or what, but alright. I can do the seat backs. Your tray table up and your seat back in the full upright position. When was the last time you heard that? Probably not for a while, because who's been flying lately? Alright, so it looks like after these seats, we're not going to have a whole lot more to do. So I guess we'll talk about tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to be hopefully finishing this guy up tomorrow. Should be starting at the same time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to stream until we're done. Curious to see, since from like a bag perspective, you know, we're going to be exactly halfway. So I'm curious to see if the second half of bags take more time or less time. I'm guessing because there's going to be less technical bits tomorrow, though that should be faster, but we'll have to see. Have to see how it goes. The giveaways for tomorrow will be a continuation of the ones we're doing today, so if you enter today, you do not need to enter again tomorrow. And that also means if you won today, you will not be able to win again tomorrow. Just to spread the wealth, keep things fair. Alright, there are our seat backs, some cheese slopes to make it nice and curved. And those just clip in. Alright, now we've got to start covering up some of this Technic stuff. So we got some more stickers coming up. But again, only on the driver's side. Sorry, Vicky. Can't roll down the windows. Surprised that Batman even put a passenger seat into the Batmobile. Like, who's he giving rides around? Other than random reporters that he's trying to make it with. There we go. I'm assuming those are probably the radio controls, obviously. And yeah, that does a good job of covering up a lot of the Technic bits here. Alright, and it looks like the last bit is going to be a bunch of screens and stuff that goes right in the middle here, covering up all this exposed stuff and just leaving the steering wheel available. This looks like this is going to be his instrument cluster, all his dials and gauges, speed, temperature, RPMs, airspeed, velocity of unladen swallows, all those things that as Batman you need to know at all times. This one actually has a picture of the Batmobile on it, so I guess this is like the Batmobile status indicator, so you can see like if any of his tires have low pressure, or if he has to replace like his windshield wiper fluid or something like that. That's gonna clip on there, so you can see kind of we're getting like this whole like wraparound look going on. pops in there. Ooh, that looks really good. Alright, oh, I need to put up that giveaway link. Alright, that link should be up. We still got one more control panel sticker here. And then a couple more down there, and plus the one for the base. So we still got a few more to do. Gonna look ahead, see if that last control panel is gonna be like coming up here. Nope, looks like we're moving on to the back. I wonder where that one's gonna be from. Alright. Put our sticker sheet as a bookmark, close up the instructions, clean things up a little bit here, and let's show off what we got. Wow, that got really heavy really fast. So yeah, we just finished, I guess not quite finished, I hope not finished because there's all like these ugly gaps in here. But we got the kind of the cockpit area in there, so you can see we got our steering wheel. He's got like his gear shift and all sorts of other controls and dials. Comfy seats that are, you know, adjustable for your comfort and support. And yeah, the sides are looking really sick here. Love how the jet intakes came out. We've got like cool little pipes and stuff with a nice titanium metallic. Guessing we're going to be using these jumper plates to kind of fill in this part later on as we get a little closer. We've got our wheel wells. You can see the working steering in here. Very excited to when we get to add those in. The front still needs a bit of work, but we do have a lot of the foundational elements done on that kind of grill. You can see we've got the little Technic brick here that like that nose cone is going to pop into at some point. And yeah, looking quite awesome. I'm definitely going to be excited for finishing it tomorrow. And then of course we've got our two minifigs so far, Batman, Vicky Vale, both exclusive to this set. Batman's got a new all one piece mask, cowl, and cape that is it's rubbery, a little bit squishy there. And I can put them in there so they can go for a drive. And that looks like it's something out of like Toy Story here. Of course, because of Batman's cape, he doesn't want to sit in there too well, but that means he's closer to the pedals, I guess. All right, so I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. So we got one more prize to give out. Let's close that off. Let's see who our fourth winner for today is gonna be. Brickus15. Congratulations, you won a Jin Urso buildable figure. So we'll be getting in touch with you to get you that prize. And yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, to finish this. Got 12 more bags to go. Should be fun. Thanks everyone who tuned in today, and I look forward to finishing it up tomorrow. So take care everyone. Have a good night.